All right, and we are streaming. Madri, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So if we don't have a designated chair, someone will have to volunteer to be the chair of this meeting, and they will essentially run the meeting.
I can do that. Are y'all okay with that? Okay, why not? Okay, let's call the meeting to order. It's like 6:07. 6:07, call the meeting to order. Thanks, everybody, for being here today. I appreciate you. March minutes. Has anybody had an opportunity to look at the March minutes, and do we have any changes?
I have a
for March
copy if
minutes?
anyone wants to.
Any changes or additions? If you feel good about the March minutes, someone can make a motion to accept them as they are. Marissa?
I'll motion if I'm allowed as the secretary.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Who would like to
Okay.
second Marissa's motion?
I will say.
Awesome. Let's vote to accept. You in a good place to?
Yeah, that's fine.
So on the floor. On the floor is a motion to accept the March minutes as they are. If you are okay with that, we'll say yeah.
Yeah.
Not okay with that, so. I think we're good. Great. I've had so many, like at the cottage, we had Robert's, Martha's rules. I don't know if y'all done Martha's rules, but they confuse me all the time. I'm like in rules. Okay. Chairs
We have
report.
chair vibes right now.
Yeah. Chairs report, officer roles. I don't know what that's referring to. Do you have something to say?
Just that we need to fill the role of both chair and vice chair. Like I said, Sally, getting chair vibes right now.
My question would be is, do I have to prepare an agenda?
No,
Oh, then I don't mind.
we'll do that.
Essentially run the meetings and serve as like a contact point as needed.
Okay.
It's not the chair.
I would be fine to do that. I do know that, our next meeting, I'll be in, are you?
Okay.
Okay. But, I won't be here for the June meeting, but I can be here for subsequent.
Okay. Okay. Well, hopefully we'll have new members before then. And we'll be.
Do you want to do, is there a chair nomination? And do we want to do voting, or do you want to delay that for another time? Do you want to just go with what the acting chair this time, and then, I don't know. Someone could nominate you to be the chair, or someone else could say the vice chair, and y'all could vote round the table for it now and make it official, or you could wait and do it another time.
Just out of curiosity, what are we missing today?
We're not missing.
We're not missing anyone?
No.
Okay. I nominate.
Darcy.
Okay. There's a
Darcy.
nomination on the floor for me and chair.
I would second that nomination.
Then, would anybody, if y'all are okay with me being chair, you can be like, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody who's not okay with that can say no. Okay, awesome. Okay, I'll serve as chair. I won't be here in June, but I'll make sure to, maybe we talk about next meeting. We leave here today. How about vice chair? Vice chair would fill in for the chair when they're not here. Really low bar job there. Just fill them in. Oh, Montu.
We all saw.
This little twinkle in his eye.
Yes, yes. It's just running a meeting at when I mean, Mark's got a good
I think I like the nodded.
Well.
That was not a slide.
No typing required.
Oh.
I got that covered.
That is true. That means I have to chair the June meeting.
Indeed. Yes. in the agenda.
You have enough people to have a meeting yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's quorum.
I move for you to be chair. I would like to do that.
Vice
I would like to nominate you for chair.
You mean
Vice
vice
chair,
chair?
vice chair. Oh, yes.
Like that.
I would second that nomination.
If y'all are okay with Mark being vice chair, let's go, yeah, yeah. Anybody who's like, no. Okay, I think we're good. Let's move on.
How did this happen?
Y'all, you got finessed.
Sales pitch.
Oh, great.
People love it. Staff report.
It's us. Yeah. So, ACC emails. I know Marissa is still having trouble with hers. Montu is having some trouble. Anyone else still not able to get into their ACC Gov email? Mark, you
I am.
okay? Francis, you good there? Jessica, all are good? Sally? Okay, great. So we'll try to take care of those too. And everyone has done BAC training too, right? Everyone's done it?
No. I'm still waiting.
Oh,
That was part
oh.
of the question, but I haven't gotten the response.
Yes, yes. Okay, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it. All right.
It was my fault the first time though. I missed it. I let it expire.
You're
It's all on them.
all good. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Well, so close. So close. So our new member call closed. I think it was Francis, Mark, Jessica, and Montu. Were y'all the review committee? Okay. Sometime I'll email you again tomorrow, and we'll try to find a date that works for everybody in the next week or two. I know sometimes it's tricky this time of year. But we'll find something. We'll get those interviews knocked out. In the meantime, if you have time, look through those applications, and if there's anyone they're like, no, we don't even have to interview. But we can just interview everybody if you want to do that. But just take a look at that. Triangle Artworks. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so the Triangle Artworks is in the very last stage on our part, so we're in the final signature, and then we're going to revisit the timeline because everything's taken longer. They want to do it at a time not in the summer because they feel like they have better attendance rates when they do it not in the summer. So I'm meeting with them likely tomorrow just for a phone call. We're going to rewrite the timeline on that, but I'm just like a mayor's signature away from being there. It's just a long journey, and same with the public art master plan. That is also in the final stage of its signatures and its long journey of all the paperwork that goes with these. And then we'll have a timeline, hopefully an update. If we have a June meeting, then I'll have an update for when Todd Resi will be coming to town, and what that looks like to do meetings with y'all, meetings with community engagement, and all around that. So those are in progress. They have been slow, but they are moving. We're getting to the fun part very soon. And the Triangle Artworks piece will have a big advertising campaign so that we get it out to, and we'll be asking y'all to help share that in your circles as well, so that we get good applicants for it and that people, understand that it's no charge and there'll be a whole course for them to be able to take online. And we're really excited about it. I think it's going to be I think they can accommodate like 20 plus people in the class. So we're hoping to get a good turnout, and I'm really hoping we get a good round of applicants for it.
We'll do East Athens. Okay. Just do that. So some project updates. Of course, Poet Laureate, we didn't meet last month, so I didn't get to chat with y'all about our Poet Laureate reading at the Mayor and Commission meeting. I don't know, did anyone get the chance to watch that in the video? If you didn't get a chance to see it, you can, it's the agenda setting session from April 16th, and all those videos are on YouTube. If you just go to the ACC Gov website, all the Mayor and Commission meetings are on there. And it's right at the beginning of that video, and it's really, really nice. In fact, right after that reading, she went into labor with her son and had her baby the next morning. It's a little early, but I think it was all the excitement.
Wow.
So it was quite an entrance. Yeah, quite an entrance. So yes, so congrats to Michaelia and her family. Um, and somehow, in all of that, she still managed to give some updated poetry recordings for our dial-up home line. Our IT department hasn't updated those on the phone line yet, but they will be up very soon, and I'll send y'all an email when they manage to get them up. They're really cool. She did 3 recordings, and she has backing music from a local musician, just kind of some like guitar and stuff, kind of ambient stuff in the background. It was really, really cool. She did a little bit different. So I'll make sure to update y'all when those are live, and you can call up and share that with all your friends. We'll do a press release too. Some SPLOS project updates. So we have our two Greenway murals. Our one Greenway mural that has been delayed because of the GDOT permitting issue. That is still something that we're waiting on, unfortunately. Our other Greenway mural, we were getting ready to install this month. However, now there is some maintenance that needs to happen under that bridge that's going to push us probably until a little later this summer. So it's a real bummer. We were hoping to have that done soon. So these 2 Greenway murals are just, I want to say cursed, but yes, just, they're chucking along, but hopefully by the summer, end of summer, maybe we'll have both of those done. So we have our 2 Firefly Trail sculpture projects. One is in its phase 2, that's moving along. The other one, I have to get a recommendation from y'all. So I'm gonna pass these. We don't have our big fancy screen out. But I'll make sure to do old school. We have to do it old school. I had to do printouts. So I'll explain what y'all need to have here. No, I don't have to do it. Share. Yeah. Right. So the first page that you're looking at, that is the original design from our artist that was the selected design for this project. This one was interesting because it the intention was to use some of the parts of the trestle bridge that was dismantled to build the new Trail Creek Bridge. And now, so those pieces were available to use for this project. So it was part of the call. They didn't have to use the materials, but they were available to use. And this artist submitted this design here. And so you could see the bottom has part of that big, large beam that was part of the bridge, and then some of the smaller rail pieces were going to be used in the center. If you go to the second page, you'll see this is an updated design. So what has happened now that the artist has had a chance to come see the site, come see the materials, see where everything's stored, they're not going to be able to work with some of those materials the way that they wanted to. It'll involve dismantling a lot of pieces on our site. And it's just a lot more labor intensive than they had realized. They were expecting that some of these things would already be dismantled. So, they would have to come up with a torch and do all this stuff. So they have proposed a redesign using new materials made to look like the older materials. So they're going to do some patinas and things to kind of give it the same quality. However, because they're not using all those kind of free materials, they have to buy all this metal and stuff. So it's kind of changed the scale of everything a little bit, and they've kind of changed the design to kind of better fit the new situation. So basically, I wanted to get everyone's opinion whether or not you are basically okay with approving the redesign, or if you feel that we need to reject the redesign. So those are the two options of accepting the redesign or not. You might say, well, what happens if you don't? Well, that's a really good question, because it would kind of take us to a bit of an unprecedented situation. We'd have to go back to the artist and maybe propose a different design, or they may not feel they can move forward with this particular project. The artist is not under contract yet, because we're kind of finalizing these things. So, it's not a situation where they're under contract and they have to just finish. So those are basically the two options for this particular project. And so I opened it up for y'all to vote on those options. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
So in the first proposal, there's a mention about providing like the design incorporating some like seating
Right.
element. And I'm just curious if that was like an innovative thought that the artist had, or if that was within the scope or interest in terms of the site, in terms of just providing seating for the public.
It wasn't a good question. It wasn't a requirement for the project. It was just kind of a creative way to use some of those materials that were provided, since they already kind of had that structured kind of shape to them.
Okay.
They were just going to add some wooden decking to the top to make it into a seat.
With that, I'm not really like familiar exactly with where the site is. So
This
that's
is this is the Firefly Trailhead that is over by the racetrack on Lexington. So does everyone know what I'm talking about over there? So like where like Lexington's this way and Old Winterville Road kind of comes off this way. The trailhead's right about here. As far as whether or not it's a need, there are benches along the trail. But there isn't any seating at the trailhead. It's not a very large area. So that was actually another concern with the artist, that there wasn't a substantial enough footprint to not only put this, but the pad where that needs to go there as well.
Am I allowed to discuss, I was on the selection panel for this
Yeah.
one, am I allowed to discuss that?
Sure.
Okay. What makes this one tough for me is in that selection process, I feel like the additional seating and the reuse of the materials was part of the reason that this piece was selected. And if those are no longer elements, I feel like it doesn't serve the same purpose that panel, that was the reason that they selected it,
I feel you. And that was kind of our concern too, which is why we brought it to y'all, because this is what
Why they removed the second little insect too. I feel like the second design is just a lot simpler and not really as striking as the original concept.
It was just the budget issue. So it's getting all the new metal, instead of having all this recycled metal. Most of the budget was going into the fireflies, which are bronze and aluminum.
It just also removes one of the lighted elements, which was another piece of why I think this one kind of won out over some of the other ones.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's a tough situation because it's like,
I agree.
I know it's probably not what the artist finds ideal either, but I do think it's a bummer.
I made
I know that I have propose, what to do about it,
Yeah.
but what do you think?
Um, you know, as far as like a staff recommendation, you know, I kind of agree with Marissa's sentiments. I think it's kind of unfortunate because those were, you know, I think big selling points for the selection. However, I'm certainly sympathetic to the artists and, you know, they've put a lot of work in to try to go with the original design. Because it's been a while since the selection, so we've had a lot of back and forth about this, but this is how, you know, if they're gonna move forward, this is what they wanna do. I'm inclined to, you know, give the staff recommendation that, you know, we should accept the redesign. But I also understand if, you know, if that's,
I think it's close enough, for me, is close enough to the original design. It's in the same spirit. It has the lighted purpose. It speaks to the firefly as a, you know, symbolic object. It's this, I remember the call and the selection process. We're talking about like there's a lot of stuff going on at that intersection now because you kind of moving up into that neighborhood and the racetrack's there and there's a lot of like that whole traffic intersection. But this is thing that will catch your eye and be like, oh, that's where the trail starts. Is when I'm bringing my bike up here, I'm walking with my friends, and like that's the Firefly Trail, and you'll know it because you'll see this, and like that to me still works like it was intended. So I think it's close enough, and while it is a bummer that we had to make those changes, and it's that those remnant materials eligible is still, I think, a beautiful object, and that still serves like what we set out for.
I think the second one's pretty good. I mean, to me,
It's a little more refined.
yeah,
yeah,
and it's not the artist's fault that it would be a hardship for them to take new material. Kind of like just the way it is.
yeah,
You know?
which is why, you know, like, I mean, I understand what Morris is saying, and it's definitely a tricky thing, but I think they've done a good job to try to keep as close to the original as they can and add a little bit of, I think it's you're right, a little more refined because now they have a little bit more freedom to work with newer materials as opposed to, you know, just kind of what was available. So
Are they still asserting the glow in the dark option?
it's still going to have like a glow in the dark powder coating kind of stuff on it. Yeah.
I think I'm team move forward with the new design.
Yeah.
The other option is to go through.
Mhm.
And I hate to revoke the opportunity for these artists that have already put work in and did create a beautiful design, even if it's the challenges.
I feel that.
Is there signage, just out of curiosity, that explains the connection to the trestle? Or was it kind of, would the signage just be kind of the title of your?
It'll probably just be the title and that, but you know, we have our art finder and stuff, so there'll be some online stuff for it. Hopefully we can do a little more interactive wayfinding stuff with some of our new pieces.
So are we seeking a motion at this point?
Is there any other discussion? Are you making a motion to accept?
I'll motion to accept the new proposal.
No, second.
Okay, so those who are good with the second proposal or with the new revised proposal can say yay.
Yay.
Okay, getting old. Those who are not okay with it, say nay.
I think it's great.
Yeah, okay, all right, well, looks like we're moving forward.
Thanks, y'all. Okay, so I need another recommendation from y'all. So I talked a little bit last meeting, and again, we didn't meet last month, so back in March, about how we had to go back to the Mayor and Commission to change the site of the exterior mural on the arena. So originally it was going to be on the actual arena itself. In fact, there's a mock-up here of what it, this proposed design was gonna look like on the arena building. And the material that the building is made of, Kynar, was not something that we could work with in terms of painting on without voiding the surface warranty. So we had to find another site. Luckily, there's this big, beautiful parking deck that's right adjacent to this site. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That was a really good canvas. And so you can kind of see in that third page here. So the red section, the red highlighted section, this is the part of that parking deck that is overlooking the exterior plaza of the arena. So right between the parking deck and the arena is this plaza. It's the plaza that already is there. In fact, right now they have a big fence around it because they're resurfacing the plaza, but that's going to kind of be your entryway into the arena. So that plaza is where the big sculpture will be, and then overlooking that plaza will be this mural. Now, the artist has proposed, because we asked the artist to kind of give us, a mock-up of what that would look like. Now, this is just an outline. It will be in the color, it will be in full color. This is just to kind of give you an idea. So it's a much larger facade than was originally, proposed for this in terms of square footage. And of course, this is a very large building. And so she, this is the kind of the design that she thinks would work best with the existing design to make it work on the new site. And again, this was something that was kind of unforeseen and certainly not the artist's fault, this change. So the recommendation that we need from you is, so the options are either to add an additional $10,000 to the artist budget to account for the larger square footage of the mural, or to have her kind of maybe edit this down a little bit to keep it within the square footage of the original budget. So those are the two options. So the money for this project is coming out of the SPLOST project budget for the arena. So remember, it's 1% of the construction budget. So that's all coming out of the project budget. This additional $10,000 would come out of our capital or, the SPLOST Project 21 pot of funds, but public art funds. Very much so. The money is available. It's a kind of a small amount, considering. But again, we would like a recommendation from you all. If you would like to, Sally, you're good at this. Word it for me. What are we?
Yeah.
Okay. What are your questions?
My question was, what would the scale look like without what is the square footage here?
We would have to go back to her and have her edit it down, but it wouldn't involve all of this. It would probably be just like maybe that one big tower.
So only 20,000 have more than 50% of this.
Yeah, I think it's a very small amount of money for how much more work he's doing. Yeah, it's like twice the amount of stuff.
I actually think it looks better on the parking garage than it did on the building anyway. I think it's much more conducive to.
Oh, yeah.
Side of the building.
Is the artist so this is brick, does the artist paint on the brick or lay something on?
They're painting on the brick.
Is it the same color scheme? Like, is it
Yes.
gonna read well?
Oh, yes. Yeah, because it's just going to be primed, and then it's going to be like that. And then this is like what do they call it, like cast stone or whatever. It's not really stone. It's concrete to look like stone, but that's gonna be just kept whitish, white, light gray, whatever it is, concrete color. And then, so she's just painting on the brick part. So it's gonna be primed and then, you know, painted to look, so it'll really pop for sure.
I remember the base. The base is the big thing.
Mhm.
And is the base a color or is the base red? Not just sticking with red?
That was my question, like, how do we think those two will complement each other, being in closer proximity than when they were selected?
Oh.
I think-
Yeah. So the recommendation is on this, the new site has been approved. We had to go back to mayor and commission to approve the new site. It's just whether or not y'all want to
whether
do the
we're
full
increasing.
facade or a smaller section. Sorry, that was confusing.
I see.
Yeah.
I do remember it talking about this time.
Yeah. So the mayor and commission approved the new site, at, what was it, last month's meeting. So that part is already done. It's just a matter of the scale of what is going on the new site. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anybody have any other discussion? How y'all feeling about it? Anybody want to make a motion to go move forward and give this artist an additional $10,000 to pull this thing off on a new place? All right, anybody have a motion for that?
I motioned
Okay.
to
Anybody?
add 10,000 to the budget to expand.
I'll second.
Nice. Okay, got a second. Those who are okay with moving forward with the second option, with the first option to add the $10,000 to the budget from the public art funds to expand the scope of the paint and parking deck facade over the arena plaza. Then say aye.
Aye.
Those who are opposed say aye. I think we're good.
Thank you, Sally. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, thank you very much. And then, so additionally, just an update on the rest of the arena projects. Everything else is moving. The sculpture is on phase 2. So we're still projecting that those will be all installed later this summer. So
Does that include this one that we should take a field trip when?
oh yeah, when
cool.
yeah, when the artists are here working, I'll definitely let y'all know. I mean, we'll have other meetings before then. And you'll be able to see, we'll do press release, we'll do lots of social media stuff. It'll be, yeah, everything will be kind of happening at once. So that's kind of good. Yeah,
Are there any issues?
no, that one's, that one's fine. Everything seems good otherwise. I'm fingers crossed with these sites.
Good.
But yeah, they're moving along and the arena's moving along. So,
Wednesday.
yes, thank you.
That's when they say.
I thought it was-
Actually, I think today is the last day of voting.
Voting gets announced tomorrow.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's between the Panic and the Rock Lobsters.
We get those last votes in today.
Right?
And will we have ribbon cuttings for the, when they're, okay.
Oh, yeah, that's the,
The most fun part.
Yeah.
that's the part. Oh, and Walk of Fame will be announcing the new inductees next month. I'm waiting to hear back from the folks from Athens about which day will work for them. We usually do have someone from the committee do the stage announcement. Maybe it'll be Mark's turn this year. Oh, you want to do the stage announcement? Great. And then we do a press release like right after. And then those will be installed usually late summer, early fall. So a lot of stuff coming up. But something to think about, and I will touch base with you all in our June meeting. But if we want to do a table or something for Athfest, we do have a lot of swag left over from last year, t-shirts, hats, sunglasses. It'd be great to give the rest of that stuff away. So I will be in touch once we know the when and where of everything.
And it might make sense. I'm sorry. Sure.
I'll go after you.
Okay. It would make sense to do it at least, maybe, I don't know if we need to be there all 3 days. If you
No.
do it the day
I
we
think like
announce.
one day of hanging out. Yeah, yeah.
Bubble machine going. We had. some-
This way y'all can just do real short shifts. You don't have to be out there, you know, it'll be a lot
It was
easier to process.
The bubbles brought.
So I have a question about that, which is I looked up and the tabling fee is like $75, I think at this point, it's from first. How can we go about, I guess, securing the table?
I can
You all
get
know?
that, yeah, I can
Okay.
get that for y'all.
I was gonna throw out there that the Pride Parade is on June 1st and there's a resource festival afterwards with free tabling for nonprofit community organizations, if that's something we're interested in. It's just another opportunity.
We sign up to it for that.
It's just an online form that it's on Athens-Clarke.org or I can send it.
That's coming up here in a little bit.
June 1st. Yeah, it's directly after the parade at the Foundry Pavilion.
What time does the parade start?
Our website says 1:30, but I thought it was 2, so I'm gonna find that out on Thursday for sure. But the Resource Festival definitely starts at 3. And it's directly after the parade.
These flags, city halls.
They will, but it's not scheduled for the same day. So really? Yeah, they had already scheduled it before we got the permit for the parade. So, I don't know if there's any flexibility with that, but I know it's already been scheduled.
How long is the resource fair?
It's 3 to 6.
So is there any interest from anybody to put a table up at the resource part of Pride? I went last year, you know, I say with respect and love, it was a hot mess, meaning there was a ton of people there. Like,
It was,
exciting.
yeah, we're gonna have, last year we had like 60 nonprofit vendors in the resource fair and it was so crowded that you couldn't move in there because we had about 5,000 people. So it's a really good opportunity for a lot of eyes, including like regional people who've traveled into Athens. But we are probably gonna accept fewer this year so that it's a little fewer tables, so that it's not quite so crowded in there. But that means if we want to do it, we need to do it quickly, yeah. And I'll be on the Pride side of things, so I won't be able to do anything.
And so if the resource fair part starts at 3, then what's the expectation for folks to show up and set up table and things like that?
There will be a schedule released to vendors for like loading in and setting up because that street will be closed for food trucks at some point. We are having a meeting this Thursday where we'll probably talk through those details, but I don't know just yet.
And then so if you're thinking like logistically, if it starts at 3, then that I would assume like resource fair people would have to be there by 2 for sure. And then if it ends at 6, we all know that means you're not getting out of there. So just realistically with people's time, are people interested in, 7 hours of your life? And we could split that up.
2 to 7?
Yeah, 2 or yeah. That much, and I'm not dogging it out, I'm just saying realistic.
No, I mean, we're a small group right now, so it would mean.
No, Madeline and Kim said that it was a worthwhile endeavor last year. They had a lot of engagement. So, I'll be 100% transparent. I think I can't and my anxiety won't let me be in a space that tight. with
Yeah,
so
it's
few
not-
people. I can't.
Yeah, it was a lot going on.
Definitely a lot of people.
I'm gonna be at my
I think it's a good idea.
Well, what I'll do is I'll send out some dates and, y'all can think on it and see what you want to volunteer. I'll do like a little volunteer sign up thing with some slots. And if we have enough people to fill it up, then great. And if not, then maybe next year.
There's also the hot corner.
Oh, yes, hot corner.
Yeah.
We've got a stuff into.
Awesome. I think it's like 3 weekends. It's Pride, the first weekend of June, Hot Corner the second weekend, and then Juneteenth, third weekend, and then us. Yeah. And Juneteenth is in College Square.
When are they doing?
15?
Yes, they're doing it on the 15th. They're gonna raise the flag that morning and then they'll have the celebration downtown. I don't know a lot of details about what's happening in this calendar, but I do know that it is confirmed to be in College Square. That'll be a downtown. Okay, so yes, downtown June every single weekend.
That's right, that's right.
So we'll be doing the fireworks, leisure services will be doing fireworks at East Athens at the Southeast Clarke Park the very last weekend in June. So yes, it's a very June.
For like July 4th.
Yes, we're doing it a week early out of. But that's what's happening. So
Probably cheaper than
100%,
fireworks.
I think it's maybe I don't know actually. It could be availability. It's
Yeah.
before the holiday instead of after the holiday because the 4th of July is Mother's Day. So just putting that out there that June is every weekend is something exciting to do in this town. So that's exciting.
Is there tabling of the fireworks?
There could be with this is we are moving that event to have more activities before the fireworks. The last few years we've had it out at the airport. It's just like show up and then wait for it to get dark, watch the fireworks, go home because we're kind of coming out of the pandemic time period, right? But now we've had some feedback and people want to make it more of like an event. So we'll have band playing and there'll be activities for the kids and there'll be things going on in the park. So that is an opportunity there as well. So it's kind of like a late afternoon, evening time because I actually don't know the exact time, but because I know the fireworks won't start till 9 p.m., you can believe we're not going to be out there at noon. So we're going to be out there at like 4 o'clock, I think, and have some time for people to enjoy themselves, ride the ride. There'll be like some rides and like those like bouncy castle type things and some activities like that. Just people to be together out there in Southeast Clarke Park and then the fireworks at dark. So that is also just something, another opportunity. So
It's nice how we're spreading love to that part. Like having something for. So it looks like Tatiana will be sending out all sorts of dates in June that we have opportunity to table. I'll just put it out there for you guys. I'm way more interested in doing a little tabling on June the 21st at the first day of Athens than I am anything else. That's just me.
Or whatever day we announce
Yes,
the walk.
it'll probably be, it's usually a Friday that
Okay.
we do it. But, if they come back and say, no, Saturday would be better, I don't know, we'll see. It'll be one of those two.
When
Yes.
you do that is like, what's the commitment? And what I mean by that is like, let's say I sign up to do June the 21st and like Mark and I sign up to do June the 21st, then one of us need to come by here, get the stuff. But you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there's a commitment to get the stuff and then get the stuff back here
Yeah.
at some point for the next weekend, so we need to be thoughtful about that.
Yeah, we have we got a big table, we have a, pop-up canopy thing.
there's a wagon.
There's the wagon.
Put the tent up, so how it went last year, I mean, it was not bad at all.
Yeah.
There were 3 of us, I think, total, and, the tent got set up by the AthFest people. We didn't even have to do it ourselves. We put the stuff out and then took like little shifts. People would, go off and enjoy a little bit of fest and come back, and it was not bad at all.
This building's open till 5, so if you needed to bring it back, if you wanted to look back at the time, or you could bring it back the next day if you had room to store it. This building opens at 10 on Saturday, so.
And Friday night, I think we were out of there like by 8:30. I mean, it's not a late night either on Friday night, so.
So just thinking about like picking it up here and then bringing it back here, those kind of things. It's like when the space is a bit
All the other stuff is still in like totes,
Yeah.
But yeah, we have shirts, hats, sunglasses, stickers, bubbles.
Say that last year that the shirts were for
They are.
commission members only.
We have a lot, though. We have a lot. I don't.
You have mine.
I don't have. All right, well, next meeting, I'll bring the stuff down and y'all can get hats and stuff.
Well, they're not, the next meeting, there's a bunch of folks that won't make it for that June.
That's right. Well, if you want shirts before then, just let me know and come by and pick it up here.
All right, so Tatiana, look for the email from Tatiana.
Yeah, I'll do it.
To do that. For you guys that don't have the email, don't have email access, you might want to think about.
Or I'll just do it to the regular listserv until everybody has their things working. Yeah.
So Jessica mentioned that as an outreach committee.
Oh, okay.
we're active.
Oh,
I
great.
mean, in the kind of ideation stages, because since we're all relatively new to this, we were kind of thinking that, obviously, like access to tabling opportunities is something that, naturally is a part of what outreach is about. And we're glad that the conversation has been brought up and everyone's involved. I guess, I don't know if right now is a good opportunity or in a future meeting, but we got together and we were thinking, how can the outreach committee be the most effective? So thinking creatively, just like how can that on the cultural preservation calls or just general visibility for the work that's being done here. And so we had like a few just general like questions that raise that as something that we can discuss right now, or if we feel like we're short on time or we want to table that discussion another moment.
Depending on how fast you want to move, should we table it until we have more members? We may have a fresh perspective.
Might be good. Yeah, the one thing I'll say is that I think my experience of onboarding as a member is that it's a lot of information of kind of what is the Cultural Affairs Commission. So I don't anticipate needing first to really get a sense of what we do and then how to promote it until they've had the community be involved for a little bit. That would be my intuition on that.
I think if your questions like, let's see if I can articulate this. So when I step into a new space, if something is already set as the norm, even if it was set as the norm the month before, so it makes me wonder if it's something that we're like, and I'm just going to pull something out of there. Like we're going to have 3 outreach events, 3 efforts in outreach a year, and our intention to doing that is blank. Then it might be worth having that conversation now before onboarding new folks, so they'll know, oh, that's what they do here. You know what I'm saying? Instead of stepping into a new space and being like, let me vote on something that I don't even know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I guess to me, it just.
Well, I really like the way that you structured that line of thinking, because it's very just like proactive. I think these are kind of just broader questions that then we can think about action items that can help us figure out, again, the like lean, effective way that the outreach can work, because we're all volunteers here. So in general, we were thinking about kind of what direction we want to take the outreach committee. In the past, there's been tabling. I spoke with Madeline a bit, but I think that just with a bit of the turnover and changes, I think the tabling is kind of just going to be the most consistent thing that outreach does. So I guess questions real quick to Stephanie and Tatiana is just, do you have any specific things that we as a, commission can help you with from like a promotions and outreach perspective that goes beyond just visibility of tablings? Is there some creative way that we could support that through the committee?
I always try to push the selection panels when we're doing outreach stuff, because I think it's really important that people understand that it's not just the people in this room picking the art, that it's like anyone can get involved with that. And it's important that we get a wide variety of folks signing up to do it. So that's kind of like a big objective, getting more people to realize that they can participate, in this process, that it's not like a closed door thing or a VIP thing. And also just to get, you know, more artists realizing that, you know, this is a thing that you can do. And if you have an interest in doing public art, even if you don't know how, like it's still important to engage with us and let us know what their needs are. There's something like even doing professional development, like no one's really asking for that. Like we don't have artists necessarily asking for that. It's like we're being the well-meaning people saying, well, maybe they need this. And that's fine, but it helps move things along faster if people are like, no, we need this. And then we can take that and show it to, you know, other people and be like, no, they need this. Here, it's in writing, they need it. And not just, you know, making assumptions. So I guess getting more community members involved in the process, demystifying it a little bit, and also getting artists involved. Those are kind of, in my opinion, like the biggest needs for outreach. Like, you know,
I agree with those both. It's great to have representation from this to like your circles and your social circles, your coworkers and people that can like speak about how it works and why we do it this way. So that's really helpful.
Okay, that's good to know. Great.
Almost like the talking points, like here's the bullet points if I'm explaining to somebody at a cocktail party why I joined the Cultural Affairs Commission and what it does, that kind of thing is helpful. And yeah, helping us get the word out either through your own social media or just like through your own networks that when there's opportunities.
Well, speaking of social media, I guess we were wondering whether that's like a digital promotion or something that we can support. Like if that's staff run exclusively, or if there's a, you know, just I think you mentioned that you might have an interest in supporting something like that. I don't know, put you on the spot, but
yeah, I mean, it's really easy to share posts that the account makes, but I was just wondering if providing content or content for you or helping you run it or something, if that could be a shared responsibility or what it's been in the past.
yeah. I mean, it's been staff run for a while now. I mean, we get content from, you know, you all too, but yeah, I guess it was
good.
Yeah, I think photos, like sharing, like, oh, we're at this event doing this, and here's some photo, that kind of thing.
I think, I'm not positive, we'd have to double check, but I think that the running of the actual account might have to stay with the staff because we have stuff we have to adhere to around policy that's established for us. But that doesn't mean we can't, we would love to have more like stories, photos, like things we're not out in the world seeing that we could make sure was like posted in the correct way that follows the policy. That would be lovely.
I had a question. Even though the response wasn't great in terms of applications for the art components for the lantern parade, I thought that was a great idea. And I was wondering if there could be like more ways that we could piggyback onto leisure service events and just gonna have like our own little project that we're doing, even if it's like a photo booth or something like smaller scale where it might be more accessible to artists to apply and kind of like a quicker process to go ahead and crank something out. I don't have specific ideas, but that's like just something that I would love to see more of and help out with.
Yeah, we want to add more, like I want to build that into the next lantern parade. And this was like the first time we did it. We had 5 different, I mean, we could have accommodated 5 different artworks, but only 2 people applied. So we did.
It's just a new thing. It's a new thing, and it takes a while to, I mean, the whole parade is new, so I think adding things sometimes.
We were just talking about this though, right before we had this meeting. I showed her a picture from something I saw this weekend that I thought was really cool, that we could have a textile artist help us make like a communal piece of art that people could like add to. And so we're going to be looking for ideas, and we're also going to be doing some more things and advertising around we're going to build some things for the lantern parade in this fall, and then videotape and photograph them and use them for the advertising for the lantern parade in January, February, and it'll be in early March this time. I'm looking at March 8th as the next lantern parade. But yes, I love that the lantern parade is like a thing. I think this will be the 3rd time we've done it, right, in March. And I hope that it I want it to be a thing that people want to create a float or build a paper mache gigantic grasshopper or make a giant puppet or bring their like performative arts spirit to. Like that is this, it's really, the Lantern Parade is ostensibly a container. We've invited people to come and fill this container with something beautiful and illuminated to be together with in the park at night for this. So I'm all open for ideas for that. And to get more people engaged is exactly where we're at with it. So yeah.
I think and to that point, I guess, maybe in a future meeting, we can, not much committee, take a look at the leisure services calendar and like, think about those key events like the winter.
And we do
Parade,
4
right.
major events. We do the holiday parade, 4th of July, the Lantern Parade, and then this fall we'll do an event at Sandy Creek Park. I'm not sure it's finalized quite yet, so, but there will likely be. We've done the balloon in the past. We may do something comparable to that, but you can imagine like a day to bring your family for people to be together. So leisure services does 4 of those calendar.
Okay, great. So I think we were thinking about how can we maybe like just factor that into part of the rhythm, because June as a month of insane tabling is like not a sustainable way to do outreach. So it might be nice to just think about how should we start the year. Okay. I mean, one other question I have is just what has worked well and what hasn't. It's, just for us to know how we can steer clear or get into something.
Surveys don't really work great.
Okay.
They don't get a huge response. And I feel like you need a really huge response in order for them to be useful. It doesn't mean you can't do them. I would say if you do them, make them very short. Like maybe one question, like what is your most important question? And just go with that. And if it's a yes or no or a true or false, it's all the better. Or multiple choice. Just, I don't know. Yeah, real short. Yeah. But yeah, and I would say the only other thing I would add is like anytime you do any kind of outreach, like try to collect emails, to add to our mailing list. People in the know.
If we have like a digital, like a computer or a tablet or something, we just find into the newsletter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Our website, right on the front page, has like a little form.
Yeah. Actually, to that point, could we have access to something like a tablet?
We have an iPad.
We'll probably buy one.
Yep, I have an iPad that we use in the arts division regularly. Like we kind of share it. We use it a lot. It gets a lot of use in the summer because they use it for summer camps, and it kind of becomes a thing where you check in and check kids out, as well as like they do like research, or the theater kids do research on their projects and things like that. So we have a couple of tablets that we go around, but they only get used in the summer a lot, and then the rest of the year, I mean, we use it periodically here and there. But so I do have an iPad at the ready that we can use. So that helps. Cool. It's got a little keyboard and everything. It's like a tiny little computer. It's really how they use it. So
Okay, perfect.
so yep.
Stephanie, were you gonna say something about good, bad outreach experiences?
Oh, I was just saying, I think like networking and personal like invitations works. I think it works well. It's like because I heard about it. But it's always word of mouth, I think is what I was getting at.
Okay. And then, okay, one last thing I'll say, we had a lot of conversation and we'll just keep, we're meeting basically of the second 2 weeks after this meeting, same time. I don't know if it's 5:30 or 6, but we're doing Mondays. So it's basically like just halfway between that. So if anybody else who gets, interest from this conversation wants to join us, you're welcome to. So we're wondering about the ACAC awards. I think Jessica, you had a point about this.
Arts and community.
Yeah.
There was like any kind of update, because I think it's been months since we talked about it.
Yeah. I mean, just the way that they need to They would need contracts, they would need insurance, they need all these things. So it's not something that we can do within a fiscal year if we do it start to finish. It's just not a tenable thing. So,
It was a way that we operated in the past that we're not able to do it. Because under that particular like practice, it's just not feasible any longer. So that's the Lantern Parade opportunities was like a comparable, and we have some, that, and we have some other, and the Triangle Artworks is like engaging local artists, and then we're also gonna, the Triangle Artworks online education course is where artists learn how to respond to and apply for calls for public art. And one of the things about that makes it very unique to Triangle is that they respond to a live call. It is not like a theoretical call for art, it is a real one. So they are going through all the steps as they learn, and then they're going to submit an actual application to make a work of art. And we're going to create, we have a project that we're kind of like holding so that we can have that be that one of the opportunities for artists if they want to, and it'll be for local artists. So that's kind of how we're orienting towards things that are specific to community members here, if you will, that are local artists specific, and their opportunities for the art to be accessible to a broader spectrum of artists, because the complexity of the work is, it's not like they don't need like we're either going to not need gigantic insurance policies, they won't need Jimmy lifts, or like have done like huge structure, like the parking deck design we just looked at is like very advanced, right? We're looking at like what's the smaller, more like feasible projects.
I'm sorry, I have actually two real quick questions. And the board, and the commission organize events?
like what kind of events?
I actually don't really know. I think it was just a general question. I don't know if that's because you had a specific. So we can discuss that.
I think when we talked about it in the meeting, we were talking about, like in the past, I think there was an idea for the Music Walk of Fame to have an event where people who were affiliated could perform, and it would just be kind of like a promotional effort to get people together and have them find out about the project. And I know there are issues with like, I'm assuming we're not allowed to have ticketed events at the 40 Water or something. But what about like, are we allowed to do anything like that where if it was free, like could you do walking tours or other kind of in-person ways to promote our projects?
Yeah, I mean, things that are like on like property and things like that. It's when we do like private. We can't do like events on like private property, just like a whole different thing.
There's different liabilities, and also like there's no alcohol, all this kind of stuff, because it's government.
Yeah.
So we have
Like you have to
there's things-
remember that you're an organization that's part of the county government. So it's not like you're a nonprofit that can just do, any kind of event. It's a little bit more restrictive, but not that you can't do anything. It just has to be kind of.
And I would love to hear your ideas about the Athens Music Walk of Fame ideas. We've talked over a few of them, but we haven't really landed on anything specific yet. And so we have some ideas about to acknowledge the ones we have, the plaques we have put in now. And so, yeah.
But
And do something for issues, and we do something for issues. His was done, I just basically invited everybody to his plaque.
right, but that's like a lot of the
I think
artists.
what you're saying is like,
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
We did a tour with a lot of the Cultural Affairs Commission when we first put a few of them in there. It was during COVID time because I have pictures and we're all wearing masks outside. And I think Michael the Husky gave us the tour and walked us around. It was very cool. So that was nice. So that's absolutely things that we can do and things we can organize. That is as an extension of outreach. You can invite people from the public. And, yeah, we'll help you organize that.
Yeah, we do a walking cycle.
I mean,
I did that walking cycle last year, so I'm just like, throwing ideas.
I saw a video of it.
Yeah. But like that kind of stuff. That's what we're talking about. It's like events, like, not like going to world famous, like doing this thing, but like,
Right.
we're like bringing people together. to, like,
Yeah, because we were discussing that, like, we think that that's like a strength, at least of the new batch of members that joined, is that a lot of us know how to run events. And so it's something that I think comes natural to a lot of us, and that's something we can leverage as like talent and skills that we can bring to the commission outreach.
Yeah, I mean, you wanna like, I think the easiest way is like maybe bring a proposal to this meeting and like talk about potential dates, maybe a couple dates. That way we can check it against all the calendars around town, which I'm sure, we all have lots of calendars. And then see what it looks like for what funding needs would be, staffing, what do you need from us, like as far as like ACC, and kind of, we go from there. See where the scale and scope of it, if it feels like feasible and and the timing of it seems to work, yeah.
Cool. That sounds great. Okay, my one last question is just kind of a technical administrative question. And I know we did our BAC training, but we were just curious, like, to what degree we could discuss ideas via email, or whether we need to wait until the commission meeting to really like bring some of these things for discussion.
That's a good question. I mean, I would say you can discuss any like ideas, just you can't vote on anything over email, if that makes sense. And I would encourage y'all as a group to bring as much stuff to the meetings as you can and try to discuss it and vote on it, as a full group. So we just don't have like an issue with like, oh, this group is
Right.
Because that's all.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a proposal, we're all going to discuss it back and forth and then come up with a presentation, so to speak, for this space, and then it's open for discussion by the group with a quorum that can vote on it or to make true decisions about it, yeah.
So discuss ideas, don't make decisions. Maybe that's the way to look at it.
Thank you all. That clarified a lot of things that we've been processing, so I'm looking forward to it. But the tabling, I think, is kind of a pressing timeline to consider.
As y'all move, I'm excited for you. As y'all move forward, if you have things to add to the agenda, please let Kathy know. Yes, let Tatiana know so that it'll be placed on the agenda, stuff like a proposal coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, normally we have the screen, so if you want to just bring your laptop and have PowerPoint, you do the whole thing.
Okay.
Anything miscellaneous?
So downtown development, Linden House, the call for art for the new third Art Deco project, has gone out. And there'll be 8 community panel or 8 artist panels. And then there is a community component, which will be one panel, one of the 4x8 panels, which will be facilitated by a local artist and painted at the event on July 27th, which there is a new music festival in Athens, people, because we needed another one.
Had no idea.
It's called the Foxhead Fest.
What?
Foxhead Fest.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wait, said, we all got rock and roll ears. You can't just.
It will be at the Cotton Press, July 27th. Art, a lot of art, community outreach, and artists that will be invited to do demonstrations for the art. So, but it is going to be kind of cool that one of those panels, community projects, will be installed.
What organization puts on that festival?
This is a Daniel Epting special. So Daniel decided he wanted to do a community art and music and food festival, sort of folk, but then it kind of got opened up to what Athens does best, and that's a variety of everything. So hopefully be able to touch a lot of different things, but children's aspects of the morning will be devoted to like some children's things. Then move into it's very new.
You said July 27th?
27th.
So the murals are gonna be in the same alley?
So they will be in the deck. This is Art Deco, so this is College Street. It's kind of two separate things, obviously, but the call is out for the 8 panels, and then tomorrow the call for the 1 community panel, which is in conjunction. It's still considered Art Deco because it will be installed in the College Street deck, but it's just a separate different community panel. So
Right before we get to all the miscellaneous
I
stuff.
had a
you
couple
have
things.
one last thing.
Yeah, I had another thing. I wanted to bring to y'all's awareness that we'll be revisiting this, but I just want to put it on your radar, that there is a coalition of commissioners from the east side of Athens who have collected some funds and are going to be looking to do a piece of public art on the east side of Athens that speaks to that side of town. And so this is a little bit outside of our typical processes because it's not like the origin is not like a lost construction project. So I'm working through some of the processes, but we'll be working with y'all to help. We're gonna look at their budget and talk about potentially like what this group might want to recommend additional funds from some of our other sources and look at the types of art. And I'm gonna confirm the locations and the specs on that, and then we'll have visuals so we can really talk about it. And then also I'll be helping to coordinate some community engagement with East Athens to like get some feedback about what people think about it. So I'll be leaning on y'all to also help me connect to folks over there. So this is kind of a bit of a new way of operating because it's not like the SPLOST office. It's not like there's not there not managing it. We are. So yeah. So I'll be bringing more information to y'all about that in the next couple meetings, but I just wanted to put it on your radar so that you're aware.
You may hear about it.
Yeah. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that our beloved Dee Dee Dunphy, who's our facility supervisor project, site supervisor here, is retiring. Yeah, she's retiring next month.
Oh, wow.
So her last day will be the 21st of June. And that is ACFAS weekend, so it is a really busy weekend. So I just will tell you guys that we are informally celebrating her retirement on the 14th, the Friday before. So Friday the 14th will be over at the Hotel Indigo's patio. And that's just an informal, like, Dee Dee will still be in Athens. She'll be practicing artist and curator and doing all the amazing things. So we'll be having like that informal hangout happy hour on June 14th, and her last day with Leisure Services will be on June 21st. So I'm working on that. Job will be posted soon. So that's another thing y'all can send folks their way. It's a really great opportunity to basically in charge of this campus here. So Dee Dee's done an incredible work in the 10 years that she's been here, and it's a big change, but I'm really excited for her. So just wanted to show.
That was the best.
And the Linden House Foundation did so much work towards that. They deserve a lot of credit. They've been over here working day after day all last week. So really early in the morning, I have people waiting to come in. So I'm glad that was really successful.
It was amazing.
Is there an interim person that will be in charge or?
We won't do an interim. I will just keep the boat moving. And we're in summer camp, right? So we start summer camp. All of Leisure Services will shift into summer camp mode very soon. So we'll start the last week of May, and then we'll go right up to the end of July. So I'll be here, and we will be hiring someone to step into that role. So
That's good.
All right.
we will keep big shoes. Dee Dee's done amazing work under it. We're very grateful for all of that. So but I just want to make y'all aware because I know she's been a big part of this and all the work that we do here. And she's going to be in the community just working in different ways with all of us. So that's really exciting.
Hopefully applying some of our project.
I'd love to see that. She's going to be really focusing on her practice, which I'm really excited about.
Do I have any other miscellaneous items to bring up?
I have a big event tomorrow at Morton Theater.
Yeah.
Opera hip hop. We're doing like another installment of hip hop harmonic. It'll be crazy. That is like internationally known opera singer Josh Stewart. He's dope. I just actually just left rehearsal. Life's doing some poetry. Squale's doing some hip hop. All behind like UGA, kind of like the same kind of thing we did. It's just another installment of it, but
That was such a wonderful.
it's gonna be so super dope.
And it's
Yes.
free to go look at more theaters.
Is it 7:30?
7:30.
Do you need to?
Morton. I'm hosting it. It's gonna be super dope.
That's a little fashion show here, and then we have that. That's what I'm doing tomorrow night.
Like the Chamber Festival. It's being promoted.
It's
So
always-
so it's a part of a bigger, like, it's like, there's like 5 events at 5 cities in Athens, like, but yeah, it's the Chamber Fest, and it is, there's a lot of great events going on. Yeah. So, yeah. It's in the future, like, no, it's tomorrow. You just went to us.
That's exciting. It's exciting.
So if y'all can, please, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And Wednesday night is the Artworks, the last installment of that Artworks professional development. That was a collaboration through the Linden House Arts Division and Economic Development. And it'll be with Willow Tracy talking about how artists get
Yeah, it's good.
to start a new business. That's Wednesday night here in this room. Starts at 5:30 for the social hour, and then the presentation I think starts at 6.
Unfortunately, I won't be here during the next meeting, so just like an Athfest related promotion, which is that the art school is running the second Athens Art Book Fair at the Athenaeum downtown on the 22nd. And so that'll be, I think, 11 a.m. to 4 of June. Yeah, it's free. We'll have over 70 vendors of zines, books, and prints. So people coming from as far as like New Mexico and Arizona to send stuff. And then lots of local people. So
22nd, you said.
You say the time.
22nd. Yeah, I'll send it to you all. I think it's 11 a.m. to 4. See on it, but
Same
it's
weekend as Adfest.
It's like you can just walk over.
It was so.
You did that last year, loved it. Didn't you do that last year?
Well, I can walk from the upper to the table.
Yeah.
I was like, startling. But yeah, it's a great day just because you get a lot of passersby who don't know about the venue, but also just, another arts linkage for thinking about the art market and other ways.
Anybody have anything else? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn this meeting at 7:25?
So
All right, got a second? All good for it?
good.
All right.